Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the new Spectrum episode. Today we're going to be talking about the playoffs, the play-in, and who's going to lose a lot of money by the end of the season.
A lot.
A lot of money. That's an Andrew Johnson right there. One Andrew Johnson right there.
One Johnson on it.
Okay. So, to start this episode, we're going to talk about the play-in. And that's the farthest away. We should do Hawks and Heat.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Trey owns them.
New franchise, new franchise owner. No, I think that what we kind of talked about before the pod. I think that the Heat should have had enough bodies to throw at Trey to keep him at least contained. I wasn't expecting him to shoot 4 of 27, but I wanted him to at least have struggle from the field as such a small guy going against a bunch of lanky wings off their bench. But they really just did not. What do you mean?
You wish. You're a Trey hater.
I am a Trey hater. But I am sad to lose that one, but I'll take my L's there. Especially with Miami getting into the first round and also messing up my bracket again. It's not really all good all around for my bracket so far. I don't think either one of our brackets are doing that well so far.
Well, we have pretty similar.
Yeah, we have similar play-ins, so it's okay.
Besides that, I took that W on Thunder over Pelicans.
You did take the Thunder over Pelicans, which I feel like of all the games was the one that I expected the least to actually fall through that way because.
Oh really? I was pretty confident. I felt good about the Thunder
beating the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Really, even with how well Brandon Ingram's been playing.
Even
recently.
with how much better Shai's been.
We already talked about this.
Yeah.
Shai, I actually don't think we did talk about this on the pod. I think we talked about this separately. Shai has been...
No, we did, because we did when we were doing the bracket.
Okay, then yeah. But yeah, okay, well, they beat them out, so that's the 9-10 in there. Well, we skipped around from the 7-8 to the East.
Well, yeah.
9-10 in the West now.
We got talking about the
let's do the 9-10 in the East. Who was that?
Raptors.
Bulls, Raptors. It was honestly DeMar DeRozan's daughter bailing them out for real, and that's unironically. Okay, wait. I have a shit ton to say about this game because I really like.
DeMar DeRozan's daughter had to bail them out, even with a Zach LaVine 39 points.
39 points, which was exactly what I feel like they needed.
Yeah.
I feel like if they would have ran through DeMar, it would have been a lot messier than it would have been with Zach actually going off. And they still looked fucking horrendous when they were playing because... Wait, okay. I just have to say, the beginning of that game looked monstrous. I almost turned it off. With how good VanVleet was playing out of nowhere, I was like... VanVleet seems like the guy that would want to step up to a moment like that, so I was like, I didn't think that he was going to fall off as hard as he did in the second half.
VanVleet also loves coming out hot and then cooling off.
Yeah, he did he literally did that during the regular season game that he just had a big thing. If you actually watched that game, he was very hot for the first, I'd say 2 quarters and then cooled off significantly. But I just thought that, with both of them working in tandem, and, basically the equivalent of a better team's second and third option going off. I think that's usually enough for you to just win a game off of that, even with another team's primary guy going off. But I was really just... I think that it's ridiculous, honestly. I really do think that it's ridiculous. I understand that it is his daughter, and I know how much DeMar has given to that organization. But, so it's not like you have to kick her out. Just tell her to not do that. That's literally all you had to do. And even, I'm not the type of person that's like, oh yeah, they shoot really good from free throws usually, so if that wasn't happening, they'd just go 27 of 30. I don't think that obviously had that much of an impact on professional players doing it. But even if it was 2 or 3 shots, that was at the end of the game, and for basically the whole fourth quarter, that was a 1 to 3 possession game. So those couple of points at the free throw line meant a lot to that team. And not that I think it really is going to matter at the end of the day, because it's the bottom of the East. The bottom of the East is pretty trash compared to the top of the East. But I think that that's just something that, if it's not acceptable for a random civilian to do it, it's not acceptable just because it's one of the players' daughters. That's really it.
Yeah, I think the difference is that it would be acceptable for a random person to do it until a player on the Raptors asked the staff to kick them out.
Yeah.
But obviously a Raptors player is not going to ask to get an opposing player's daughter kicked out of the arena, especially their child daughter.
Yeah, the craziest thing to me is just DeMar not doing something like
Why he want to make the playoffs?
if I'm a pro player, honestly, like I guess everyone has different mentalities, but even at least from what I've seen in DeMar interviews and stuff like that, he doesn't seem like he's like a win by any means, even if it's dirty, blah 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 type of player. Like, he just seems like he likes the hoop, and I don't understand why you would want to win that way if Van Vliet gets scared of the free throw line and misses one because his daughter's screaming. Like, it doesn't.
I can understand thinking it's better than losing.
Yeah, I understand that. I guess that is true. But there's not much to say about it. It's not something that will probably ever like come up again. Period. But unless this becomes a trend for every tomorrow team, they're gonna have his daughter travel with them. But no. But yeah, it did really kind of piss me off that's how that game kind of got score got soiled by that. But at the end of the day, they're both really bad teams that were going to, or really mediocre teams that were going to go against really good teams.
Okay.
So.
Quick 10-second diversion. I keep meaning to ask this. Is there a reason we're using your phone for audio instead of that microphone right there?
Not really, because besides that, we would have to have hookups,
Yeah, I guess.
to that thing. Yeah, we have the microphone there, and I have another microphone, so we could literally have two microphones set up, and then we would have to have OBS set up on a laptop here and stuff like that. It's just a lot.
They can't connect to the camera. I mean, on my laptop's over there, but
they can't connect to the camera because there's not USB.
My laptop is over there, but
yeah, we're gonna have better set in the future, I think. But what's it called? For now, that's a Radio Shack microphone that was $15, and the other ones are Staples one that was $30.
All right.
So it's not like the audio is gonna be crazy different.
All right.
All right, enough of that. But what were we gonna talk about? It was
that was the East. Do you want to finish the East though? Because there's technically one more playing game, and then just go to the West after.
Yeah, let's go to the last one. So it was Heat Bulls, and then the Heat won.
I didn't watch this game.
I didn't watch this game either, honestly.
All right, I got you to say. Yeah, I didn't watch.
We didn't watch that game. All that I do have to say about it is just with bracket stuff, that was mad annoying because the Bulls
give Milwaukee the hardest road.
So no, do not give Milwaukee the hardest road.
Give Milwaukee the hardest.
It's so annoying, and especially with everything that's going to be coming up, when we start talking about the actual playoffs, it's like. If they had the Bulls, I'm not sweating at all. And now we have Miami, which is just fuck. But okay, we'll go on to the play in the West for now. 7-8 was Timberwolves and Lakers.
Expected outcome.
You definitely could have swung if
AD threw the game almost.
Yeah. Okay, but that's like saying that someone if someone's going good the entire game and they have one mistake. It's I'm not saying throwing the game.
But it wasn't one mistake they missed a shot they should normally make. It was a full-on mental mistake. That Mike Conley is behind the backboard, out the corner, behind the three. Why are you even jumping to contest that? Put your arm up. He's never hitting that shot.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think that when you're when he's playing, when you're in that zone, you're playing super aggressively, and you've been the defensive anchor the entire time. He's probably just in that mood that he's just contesting everything.
Sounds like an excuse.
This is not an excuse for the guy that had 5 blocks that game. He's getting that tally up. Okay?
Yeah, well, if he wouldn't have needed 1 or 2 of those blocks, if he just didn't give Mike Conley 3 free throws.
Understandable. But at the end of the day, he got the job done, just like everybody else on that Lakers roster does, and they are continuing to do and improving. They look more cohesive every single game. It's kind of insane how well the role players have been going. But we'll get more into that
cold
later.
ass white boy.
I was watching the game yesterday, with Ariana, and I kept going. I kept pointing at them and being like, you see that white boy there? That white boy can hoop.
Look, LeBron went to Miami and he learned the real secret to winning a championship. You need a white boy. He got Mike Miller, then he got Dellavedova, then Caleb, then Caruso. Then they had a couple off years, and now they got Austin Reeves. You just need a white boy.
Yeah, that's so true. It's someone that plays the game the right way.
This is a fundamental guy. High BBIQ.
But I do think that game could have been different with Rudy Gobert on the floor. Now, different doesn't necessarily mean they're losing the game. It just means the way that the game was played around him could have been a lot different. And I don't know if AD would have gotten going in the same way that he would have to win that game if Rudy Gobert was on the floor, just because he would obviously have to be banging in the paint with Rudy the entire time.
I owe you another 5 because the Thunder didn't make the playoffs.
Fuck yes, I forgot about that. Yes, oh my god. You might as well just save it for the end of the season when I get a big 20, you know?
I think you're getting to Johnson.
You're getting to Johnson. You're doing Johnson now.
Yeah, it's a callback.
Okay, it's a callback. Okay. But what is after? It's 9-10. We already
Thunder Pelicans.
Kind of already talked about that, and then it was the OKC versus the Timberwolves. I was expecting the Timberwolves to beat whoever was to come out of this anyways. And I'm not surprised really that they won, but I am kind of surprised. I don't think that I only watched the highlights from this game, so I don't know too much about what was going on during
You weren't watching it? The bowling alley?
The bowling alley, yeah, no, exactly. Like I was too focused on making sure that left hand was nice. But when it comes down to it, I think that they just had a better team and they had more experience on their team.
Yeah, and they injured Shai. They were already down 12 before that.
But they were down even more than that, I'm pretty sure, when he injured Shai. And I think...
I thought they were down 15. They got back up to 12, and then Shai got injured. But
that might be what it is. But what's it called? It is good, like you were talking about, kind of for Shai's legacy.
Yeah.
What happened with this. Just about how he was kind of having a pitch-poor game. I honestly think he would have ended fine because that's exactly what happened the game previous, where the first quarter they had the Pelicans had a lot of bodies to throw at him, and then he was after they were kind of tired out, he could go off in the third and the fourth. I think something similar would have happened in this game, but if it wouldn't have been that way and he would have just kept playing not up to his standard, him coming out and looking like I'm still going to try to play even though I'm injured does look good for them, and it definitely shows leadership obviously on his part. Yeah. But I'm excited for that team. That I think they're going to be like a 6th seed type beat next year.
I could see them getting even higher, but depends on how Chet plays, what pick they get.
Definitely, it just depends on everything. Because that team's so young. Also, we don't even know. We don't know who's injury prone yet on that team.
We also I think the real thing that could shoot them up is if Chet is they just don't have a center.
I think that Chet would be able to hold it down enough and play that small. I think we're just seeing that in the league enough that even if they're getting torched on the defensive end because of that, I don't think it's gonna matter that much, especially for a team in that echelon. I don't think that next year the OKC's trying to go for a title. So I think that being a first or second round exit that Chet's gonna be able to play sufficient enough at that position.
I think I'll give my prediction hot take. I think Shai will be give him a top 8 player next year.
Top 8. Yeah, I honestly don't think that's crazy because I think that he was already in MVP conversations, which is more than he was doing really good.
But I'd say most people probably have him firmly 10 to 12 right now.
Yeah, and I think that next year
I'm getting him top 8 next year.
I think that he could get into that range. I think that there's going to be way more than 8 players I would take over him. But when it comes to regular season play, I think that he will be in that echelon of player. Yeah, I think that's crazy. Then we went through. Did we go through all the playing? Yeah, we got Timber, and then we can go into. Do you want to go in the East again?
Yeah, we'll go. Well, we'll just go in order. You can just go in order of the games played because there'll be one for each.
Yes.
Okay. Nets, 76ers. There's not too much to say. You didn't watch this game, so I'll just run through it real quick. The Nets, we kind of figured they don't really belong in the playoffs because most of those wins were from KD, Kyrie. Even with Mikal Bridges hitting insane fadeaways at a great clip, Joel Embiid only scored 26 points. They still lost by 20.
So this is what I do have one thing to say about this game, because there's not a lot when it comes down to the actual gameplay between teams, because obviously it's just better team is beating worse team right now.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Mikal Bridges as a player, do you think that this is a similar situation to how Jeremy Grant is, or do you think that this is who Mikal Bridges is now? Like, do you think that this is the type of thing where they're going to go to Detroit and they're going to develop, they're going to show that they can be that option, but they're not actually going to be that option consistently? Or do you think that Mikal Bridges is like a second option now?
I think Mikal Bridges could be a second option, but he needs a really elite first option. Yeah. I think that the problem, I guess, for Mikal Bridges is the way he's been playing in Brooklyn. He's been really good, but I don't think he's been good enough to be a first option.
Yeah.
And the way, the type of shots that he's taking are not the type of shots you ever want your third option taking. In absence of crazy scenarios, I don't want my third option taking off a dribble, laying out fadeaways.
See, that's kind of
maybe like a 6
to a lesser extent, obviously, because I mean Mikal Bridges is dropping like 40 pieces and stuff pretty consistently. Jeremy Grant was taking had a similar shot count while he was in Detroit, and it seems to me that I think that he'll probably reverse. I think he's going to be a better player than Jeremy Grant is, so he's going to be slightly better.
He's already better.
Yeah. But I think that he will still be much better suited to a third option role and then have a better shot selection.
I agree that he'd be better suited for a third option role, but I think he's good enough that as a second option, he's totally fine. He could be a second option on a championship team. Ideally, he'd be third, but he could be second, I think.
I think you'd have to have a crazy, at least either a really good guard core or a crazy, really good...
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. I'm saying he'd be a second option to, an Embiid, Jokic, Giannis, maybe Luka.
Yeah.
Yeah, those type of players. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I kind of want to get your take on that, because, I mean, most of the Nets, I haven't been paying too much attention to them, and I'm honestly not worried about the series compared to all the other series, because I feel like every single one of them is going to be more competitive than this one is. So I wanted to see someone who is invested in this have a take on it.
I really have almost nothing to say about Celtics, Hawks. Better team wins.
The only thing I have to say about Celtics Hawks is that it's going to be a lot less even pseudo competitive than I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose in 4. I think they will lose in 5.
Yeah, I think
and if
5.
they lose in 6, they're going to eke out a double overtime win or something like that. The depth and the defense that they can throw at Trae Young is suffocating, and it's basically, it's what I expected the Heat to be able to do with less options, because obviously they don't have the names of the Celtics, but they had a lot of long wing defenders that do similar things to what actual high level defenders Jaylen Brown, even though he's had a little bit off year, that Jason Tatum, even Malcolm Brogdon as just a guard defender. I mean, they have a lot to throw at Trae when it comes to that type of stuff. So I definitely I'm very pessimistic on the Hawks side for this. I think there would have to be a major injury on the Celtics part for there to even be a chance for them to push this game to this series to a 6 or a 7 game.
All right, you want to move on to an interesting game?
Yes.
Knicks Cavs.
Thank God, yes. That looked great, and I think that if you did not watch the entire game, and this is ironic because obviously I didn't get to completely finish this game out.
Yeah, I did.
But the Evan Mobley, even though he struggled with his shooting percentages, he looked good, and Evan Mobley in the future, he's going to be crazy in the playoffs.
I mean, I know this has been but yeah, I agree with that. I'm just moving on to the game.
Yeah.
This has been the story of games that the Knicks have won all year.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect the Cavs to, I mean, obviously it's only been one game.
Yeah.
I just didn't expect the Cavs to let this happen.
Yeah.
Knicks had 51 rebounds to the Cavs 38. That's how they've been winning games all year.
Yeah.
Not necessarily great shooting, but great rebounding, good hustle, getting multiple shots off. And they did. They got, what was that, 13 more rebounds?
Yeah, I think that this is going to be a big this is a big like slap in the mouth to a young team that wasn't ready for a team that has a bunch of veteran players and players that just like know exactly what to do in these type of situations and have already had their off games. George Brown's already had their terrible games. Not to say that he won't have like an off game during the playoffs because
Jalen Brunson's just always been like that in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they have people that have been there, and that's going to show in the first game. But I think that at least I only got up to the late into the second, so I didn't get to see if Donovan Mitchell picked it up.
Donovan Mitchell had 38 points.
Yeah, 38 at the end. Yeah, so he picked it up by the end of the game, and if he didn't start out so rough, I think that would have been a lot less suffocating for them. Because there were times where the ball just wasn't moving enough.
I would agree, but I think more than Donovan Mitchell, and like we said, young players, first time in the playoffs, or maybe I don't know if they've been in the playoffs before, but I think people you'd want to see more from the Cavs. Darius Garland and the bench. Yeah. Darius Garland had, I think, it was either 1 or 2 assists, which is
he wasn't. That's what I saw during the playoffs, and I think that it's a bad decision for them to move in this direction. Is like there was a lot of isolation down to Mitchell in the first 2 quarters, and Darius Garland sitting in the corner where he's a threat from 3 and stuff like that, but he's small. So as long as they have a wing defender out there, he's not really doing that much. And I would much rather have Darius Garland running this and Donovan Mitchell like springing around the court. And also the pick and roll has been working all season. I don't know why they would move away from that now and try to play Akira bar with Donovan Mitchell like it's the Jazz or something.
Here's the other thing about the bench is I would say besides Darius Garland, and I don't really think it was Darius Garland's fault. I think it was the play calling.
Yeah,
I think Darius Garland did mostly what was asked of him. He should have been asked to do more.
Exactly.
But as far as rebounding goes, Jared Allen had 14, and I think Evan Mobley had 11. Yeah, because they had 25 combined, and then the whole team had 38.
Yeah,
like you.
And see, that's when it comes down to this, though. I don't think that they're going to win because their bench steps up. Like this is not that type of team. They have an extremely good starting 5, and even though their bench, I think obviously should get a little bit more rebounds and do a little bit more just on the court generally. This is the type of team where I just need all of them to be in stride, and that's how they win series.
Yeah, I would agree, but hold on, I want to pull up the box score because keep in mind it was a 4-point game, and I think you gotta expect more out of because they have a good bench. It's not like they have a bad bench.
Yeah, but their bench seems like bad playoff bench. Like Jetty Osman, at least from what I watched with him on the Cavs with Ron. Yeah, sorry, I thought his name was Jetty. I thought it's spelled CEDI, but I thought
I've
it was
always heard
pronounced
CD,
Jetty.
but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. But whatever his name is, Osman, he struggled a lot, even though he was younger when he was with LeBron. And he struggled a lot to make shots in the playoffs. Ricky Rubio doesn't have a good game for the playoffs because he can't shoot very well. And then the last guy, who was Karis LeVert, and he's very inconsistent. I think he did okay this game. He was probably one of the best bench people, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty much their whole bench was awful.
But Karis LeVert has always been an inconsistent player. So, I mean, just from those 3 alone, like, this is not really a team where I want the bench to be what you're relying on to come in. What are we looking at?
But I've got to be expecting more than 2 points. The whole bench had a combined 14 poinds.
Yeah.
And really only 3 players scored. Only C.D. Osman scored more than 1 time off the bench. Mm-hmm. Karis LeVert scored 1 time.
I think the biggest if I think what they're going to do next game is, especially because I think that they're going to probably run more pick and roll because the hero ball was really what got them in the hole in the first place. They just need people to be crashing in off that stuff. Like, it's not like any of these people are like fucking horrendous rebounders like for Dean Wade and Osman, but it's like they were all spaced out and just like let Donovan Mitchell get a bucket, and it's like there's no reason to do that when your team's as good as it is at the top, you know.
I'm just saying, like I can't expect Karis LeVert's going 1 for 7 again.
I can expect that. That's the
1
problem.
for 6. I don't think he's going 1 for 7 every game. I don't think Isaac Okoro's going 1 for 6 every game.
Yeah,
I don't think Evan Mobley's going 4 for 13.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many people on the Cavs roster that accomplished almost nothing. Not Evan Mobley, but
Yeah, no.
but I
totally
have to
understand.
think at least one of them is going to show up in most games.
Yeah, no, I understand. Evan Mobley's definitely going to have a bounce back game. But when I just don't have any faith in their bench, I think what it is for them is just getting Darius Garland involved, because I don't think that you need. I don't like, obviously you can't have them shooting 1 of 7 or whatever you said, but as even if they're shooting 1 of 4 and they're just taking less shots and Darius Garland has the ball in his hand more, I think that they can beat the Knicks in this series pretty easily.
Yeah.
But easily, I guess, is the wrong word. I think that it will be a dogfight, but I think that the Cavs can convincingly win this series if they just play their offense.
Yep.
Play some P&R and make sure that the ball is actually not just sticking to one player, because you have too many weapons in your starting lineup to have that happen. And you have, like, with Isaac Okoro shooting the way that he is before this game, then I think that if they keep the ball moving around, they are bound to win games just by moving it around, you know?
Yep.
There's one more in the East, or no?
Well, I was just going in order of the games that happened.
So then it would be Bucks.
Warriors Kings.
Oh, you were doing it. Oh, okay, I understand what you're saying. Warriors Kings. That game was amazing.
That's a great game.
By far the best game I feel like of the playoffs so far. It was amazing. De'Aaron Fox was so clutch down the stretch, and that's amazing for me to see. Firstly, I did not say that De'Aaron Fox would be clutch. I said the Kings offense would be slowed down during this game, which didn't happen because the Warriors were willing to play at that pace, which I think is the reason why they lost this game in the first place. Because you have Domantas Sabonis having a bad game during it, and that's what their half court is, you know. So they let De'Aaron Fox, who was hot, keep running up and down the court and making threes and driving to the paint and collapsing the defense, and that's why the Warriors sold this game away, is because they also play that game, but when you have a team that has a better half-court offense than the other team, you should slow it down, even if your full-court offense is also good, you know? But I'm still glad to see, even though I'm rooting for the Warriors to come out of this series, I love to see De'Aaron Fox do good, and I wanted them to make it to the playoffs since the 9 seed stuff, so I'm glad.
This would have been my ideal Western Conference Finals, so I like both these teams.
Yeah,
but
I feel you.
Anyway, the thing that I think this game, on top of being a great game, it should tell you. I mean, the Kings do have a real chance in this series. They won a game where Sabonis and Kevin Huerter played bad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And to be honest, this is if I were to give you the box score for the Warriors, this is a great game for the Warriors.
Oh yeah, Klay Thompson was hitting shit. Steph Curry, I mean, he had right back to back off of either it was De'Aaron Fox or some other player on the Kings hit a clutch shot, just runs back to the court and just chucks up a 3 and makes it. It's like, this is a great game on both sides.
Like, DiVincenzo, 10 points, 4 assists. Draymond, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. Looney, 9 rebounds. Klay, 21, 6 and 5. Curry, 36 and 2. Gary Payton, 2 steals.
I think
Wiggins, 17 points. Poole, 17 points.
As goofy as this sounds for someone that is not a scorer, I think you still do expect more for Draymond for just putting the ball in the basket. Like, I just want him to get 8 to 10. How many did he have?
4, but
4. And when it's this close of a game, you need him to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess the question is, and it doesn't have it on here, I don't think, but the question is, did he miss? I don't remember him missing much.
No, I think he just wasn't looking at the basket. He was mostly dishing it to other people.
Oh no, he missed bad. He was 1 for 5.
One of 5 though. That's still not a lot of shots. I mean, one more made shot there makes it look like he shot fine. You know what I'm saying? So it's I want him taking 8 shot attempts. And these sound like minor things, but when you're looking at a series that looks like it's going to be competitive and close, this is the important stuff here. If Clay's going to continue to be aggressive and look in form, if Steph's going to continue to look aggressive and be in form, if Andrew Wiggins is going to be on both ends of the court, if Lou's going to do his job, then what you need need is Draymond to at least just threaten getting a layup. Like as long as he's like when he's playmaking, it's great for the rest of the team. But when he's playmaking and he is taking advantage of the fact that they know he's playmaking, that's when the Warriors are really clicking.
This is also, on top of being one of the best games, it's going to probably be one of the most important game ones. I think if the Warriors end up losing this series, we're going to look back at this game and we're going to say the Warriors lost a game where Kevin Huerter shot 3 for 12.
Yeah.
Sabonis shot 5 for 17.
Crazy.
And
that's not happening again.
Right, and that's probably not happening again. And if they lose this series in 6 or 7, you're going to look at it and be like, man, they really needed that game. That was a great opportunity to take a road game where 2 of the Kings' best players didn't play well.
Exactly, yeah. I think that...
And the Kings are a good road team, so it's not like you're going back to Golden State. Not that you even are next, but even when you're going back to Golden State, you're not thinking these are free games.
When I'm seeing this series, though, what I'm seeing happen is the Warriors try to slow down this team, so they try to make it more of a half-court game. Sabonis starts doing better, but as Sabonis starts doing better, Fox starts doing worse for the same reason of it being a half-court thing. And I think that having Sabonis do better will be better for the Warriors than Fox do.
I think that's why I think the X factor is Kevin Huerter.
Yeah, definitely. Like if he's hot, if he's dropping even like 15 a game, like it's gonna be nightmarish for them. They're gonna have to, because there's only so many defenders on the Warriors, even though they're a good defensive team. I mean, you have basically Draymond and Andrew Wiggins and DiVincenzo, who you're spreading across the people.
GP2.
Right? Who?
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton, yes. Definitely, but he's not getting the same amount of minutes as the guys I'm really talking about for, like, I'm talking about, like, who's going to get the biggest matchups here. So we're looking at, like, if we're looking at 3 defenders, and then you have the 2 main offensive options. Right?
Yeah.
So De'Aaron Fox is going to be on the court for most of it, so that's basically taking 2 defenders to be guarding him most of the time. And then when you're having Kevin Huerter, there's not going to be a lot the Warriors can do to consistently have someone that's really good guarding him to slow him down. So if he looks aggressive in this series when they're in the half court and is running around the floor and just getting open shots, basically it's just that the Kings can outplay the Warriors at what the Warriors' half court offense is. You know, they have kind of a similar thing, except they have a big guy in the middle.
Yep.
So if Sabonis is looking good, and then they're doubling off, they're going to have Kevin Huerter, they're going to have De'Aaron Fox open, they're going to have Harrison Barnes open, they're going to have all their shooters open, and if those guys are making shots, there's not really a lot the Warriors can do about it, honestly.
Yep. I'd agree.
But I do think that they are going to be able to slow it down, because I have more trust in De'Aaron Fox than I have in Sabonis to consistently have good plays down the stretch, make the right decisions, all that type of stuff. So if the Warriors can force them into a half-court offense, that's their best chance, but chance is the key word there.
Yeah.
They definitely, it is a chance either way.
I think before I watched this game, I'd have probably been like 70-30 on the Warriors side. Mm-hmm. Now I'm closer to 60-40 for the Warriors. I think.
Yeah, I think I was 60-40 from the jump, and now I think I'm like similarly 60-40. I think that they played too much to what the Kings wanted to be playing at.
Man, I'd love the Kings to make the finals though.
That'd be awesome. Insane.
That'd be so awesome.
First playoff win in 16 years into finals appearance. That would be the biggest turnaround like ever.
You gotta love the
for
beam.
An organization. They gotta like the beam. That would be crazy. I do think that. Wait, you're going in order, so I won't. I was gonna jump into the Suns Clippers game, but we can go in order.
Go. That's Bucks Heat.
Bucks Heat.
I didn't watch this game. It's the one I didn't watch.
Yeah, with this I haven't watched this game either, and I think that all that I know, obviously Giannis got injured and Jimmy Butler was doing really well.
35. Yeah.
And I think that
35-11-7, I think.
Do we have an update on what Giannis?
I think it was like a lower back bruise, I think. I'll make sure, but
so the problem with this series for the Bucks is, and this is talking from that is a Bucks fan, the problem that is for the Bucks is with Giannis out, they actually have the starting lineup to defend the Bucks starting lineup right now. So you can put Jimmy on Chris Middleton, you can put Bam on to Brook Lopez, and then you're asking Drew Holiday to bail you out basically. And that's not the situation you want to be in offensively for the Bucks. But when it comes down to it, I'm honestly not worried that the Bucks won't make it out of this series, because I think that even if Giannis doesn't come back until, let's say, Game 5, Game 6...
They are pretty sure he's coming back for Game 2.
Really?
Yeah,
already?
the MRI had nothing. They get just a lower back bruise.
Okay. I thought, at least from what the video I saw of the injury and stuff, I thought that it was going to be more serious than...
Well, this was from 38 seconds ago.
Yeah. So I'll definitely... If he's coming back for Game 2, then I think they're looking completely fine. Even if he's out for a couple games, though, I think obviously the series will get pushed further. But we saw that the offense of the Heat couldn't keep up with the offense of the Hawks. I don't trust them to keep up with the offense of the Bucks, even without Giannis.
And even, I was about to say, it's really a totally different game if the Bucks come into the game knowing we have to game plan an offense without Giannis.
Exactly.
Then, that game they planned to have Giannis in for probably 43 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. No.
So now they're planning around Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton primarily.
Yeah.
I think their offense is going to look a lot better now that they've practiced and have these plays ready, even if he doesn't play.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that Chris Middleton's the type of player who, even with good defenders on him, he makes tough shots. He's going to have off games, but he's also going to have games where he consistently makes shots. So if you get one of those Chris Middleton games before Giannis comes back, if for some reason he's not back for Game 2, then it's really not going to be that big of a scare for them. I think this is just more of like the Miami Heat getting to have a little field day while the best player's out. Was there any... Oh yeah, we're getting the Suns Clippers next, right?
Yeah, this is the one I have the most to say about.
Okay, well, do you want to start with it then?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I'm going right to the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Honestly, even though they lost, I think you leave this game feeling better as a Suns fan than as a Clippers fan if you really look into it.
Definitely, because of how much load is on Kawhi.
Yeah, well, so first off, Kawhi's not going to average 38 points in the series.
What did I say, though? I said robot mode, bro. I said coming into the series, it was robot mode for Kawhi, bro.
Kawhi's not going to average 38.
Yes.
KD's not going to average 27.
Yeah.
Kawhi's going to come down, KD's going to go up. And, most importantly to me, is if you're the Suns, you just outsmarted yourself in the fourth quarter. I don't know, did you watch the fourth quarter?
No, I didn't get to the fourth
So,
quarter.
from 7 minutes to 2 minutes left, the only two people who shot for the Suns were Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. KD and Booker were on the floor, and they literally ran Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton pick and roll 7 possessions in a row, and then did 3 DeAndre Ayton baby hooks off passes from KD.
Is that a symptom of, because in the first quarter of the game they were playing not enough pick and roll, and then the reason they started making the run in the second was because they started doing pick and roll.
Yeah.
You think they just leaned too hard into it?
Yeah, I think you for over the course of the game you're gonna need to mix it up.
Yeah.
But I think you're getting too cheeky.
Yeah.
When you've got KD and Devin Booker on the roster,
and
in a close game with 8 to 2 minutes left, neither of them have taken a shot in that entire span.
What is and I don't see the point in that anyways, because it's not like both of them are forwards. Obviously KD is, but Devin Booker can run a P&R with DeAndre Ayton too. So why would you not be running it with them as well?
It was just, and then on top of the fact that, like I said, I feel like if Booker and KD were taking those shots, they'd probably even win this game. But I could see them still losing.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that you're probably not expecting to get again is Russell Westbrook to become a closing god. Did you see what Russell Westbrook did?
I didn't. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
In the end of the game, the last 4 minutes, might have been the last 3 minutes, he had 2 blocks, 2 steals, and 2 offensive rebounds. That's not happening again.
Yeah.
So, first off, it's because DeAndre Ayton shouldn't have been taking this shot.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been KD or Booker.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, with nobody in front of him, in between the rim and him, took a baby hook instead of just getting closer to the rim. He had a dribble, he just chose to hook it.
That's
Russell Westbrook
DeAndre Ayton experience.
Ran up from behind and blocked it. Doesn't happen if KD or Booker is taking that shot.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook ran up from behind and blocked it. And I don't remember if it happened on this play, but on multiple occasions, He walked up. No. Then on another play, he went up behind someone and he stole it. I think he might have stolen it from Booker.
Yeah.
He got the steal from behind Booker. Then the ball's about to go out of bounds, and he jumped out, threw it off Booker's foot, and the Clippers got the ball. Then down the other end, he got
so all of Westbrook's basketball IQ generates within like one game span. Because that is like crazy as hell. Because it's the opposite of every experience that I watched Russell Westbrook play on. But
then down the other end. They didn't box Westbrook out.
Yeah.
He jumped up, tipped the ball. It was going out of bounds. He jumped out of bounds and threw it off Ayton's foot, and the Clippers got the ball. It's just like and then the Suns got the ball back, and Westbrook got up. First off, I don't understand. The Suns were down 3 with 8 seconds to go.
Yeah.
And Booker drove for a layup, which he had like a decent 3, not a great 3, but I mean you're down 3 and you're Devin Booker.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, he should have taken it, but he drove and then Westbrook blocked it. I don't think, I just don't think that's happening again. I don't think you're getting Westbrook to close out a game like he's Kawhi.
I would say, because I don't think that Westbrook won't be able to perform defensively one-on-one because he's always been one-on-one.
I don't think he
but
won't
he's
be
not
able
going to be able to do that.
I don't think he won't be able to do some of those things in every game.
Yeah.
I just don't think in every game he's getting the last 3 minutes with multiple blocks, steals, saves from out of bounds, and offensive rebounds. There's no way that the Suns are not going to hammer in before the next game. You box out Westbrook at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think honestly, if I'm looking at this series, what my prediction is that the Suns win the next 3.
Yeah,
they win one at home, then take both the Clippers home games. Then they lose one on the road because and then they end up winning the series in the last one. But regardless of that, I think I had them going 6, and I think they are going to go 6. I think the Clippers will steal one more game. They'll have another robot Kawhi game, like I said, and I think that they'll have some robot Kawhi games where they lose, but I think they'll have like 1 or 2 non-robot Kawhi games where they get blown out, and then I think that will be enough to swing it in their favor. There's not another game, but there was something. Well, one, we should tally up our wins. So, do you remember your bracket?
There's another game.
There's another game?
Yeah.
Oh my god, wait, go. I'm brain This is why I told you I can't not write down what games we're going to talk about beforehand. Because I was not, I could have swore that we just finished all of them.
The Nuggets Timberwolves.
Yeah, that's why I forgot that game, because they're mid.
Yeah, I don't have shit to
and
say
they're getting
about
rolled
it. Better team won by 30.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there's not much to say, but it did happen.
And honestly,
we didn't do Memphis Lakers.
That's so crazy because that was even though the Kings and the Warriors I think was objectively the best game that's been played. That's where my favorite one was the Lakers.
Right, you go ahead because I don't have too much to say.
So I think that with the Lakers, this is their formula to win consistently because we're not expecting Rui Hachimura to drop 29 every game, but this is exactly to the perfection level of what you want the Lakers to be doing. AD aggressive on both ends of the floor, even though he's not just blocking shots but also going and forcing fouls on the other end of the floor. Having your role players step up. I'm not expecting them to step up for 29, or even Austin Reeves I think had 19 or something. 23, yeah. So I'm not expecting them to drop 20 pieces every time, but even minus 8 points from both of them, that's still crazy. Then LeBron being able to just play a backseat facilitating role. I think that with LeBron looking like the second best player but the third scoring option is what you want on this team, because you have a bunch of different guys that can go off crazy. You have D'Lo who can go off for a 20 piece, Austin Reeves that can go off for a 20 piece, Rui apparently can go off for a 20 piece, and then there's one player that I'm missing off their bench that I feel like can also go off for a 20 piece. There's a shooter, Troy Brown Jr. Just because of the 3-point ability, I'm not expecting him to score in the same way that the other guys were scoring, but he can hit like 5 to 6 threes in a game and basically just get 20 off of that. So having LeBron just like ball manage and do everything that you want as a floor general on the court, and then having AD being the number one clear option on both ends of the floor is exactly what this team has been waiting for 2 years now. So if it took to this point, as long as AD doesn't get injured, I don't care. as long as because this is what I want to see. I want to the Lakers versus the Bucks would be the dream for me to come out of the West. That or the Nuggets.
King Sixers.
King Sixers would be crazy finals. That's like a troll bracket somebody makes. Like that'd be crazy. But yeah,
somebody who loves fun.
Somebody loves the fun. I mean, it would be fun to watch Tyrese Maxey and run up and down the floor with them, and while Joel Embiid is gassed after the third quarter.
We love that. We love slowing it down. It's only going to be like 3 possessions a game.
Also, how I forgot to ask about that in this series. Is Harden back? And if Harden is back in the series, is he playing up to snuff in the first game?
Harden's been playing.
Yeah, I thought that they might rest him certain points of the series because I know that he's had the calf thing still bothering him even when he has been playing. I thought that he had looked a little bit shabby. Is that not correct?
He has, but it's hard to say from this game because. It just wasn't really all that close. I mean, until halftime it was kind of close. Yeah. But it was kind of close. You know, sometimes a game is a close score, but it's like...
It's obviously what team has the momentum. Yeah, I understand. So, yeah, and the thing to watch with them is that mainly, I feel like, for them. But I feel like in this series, it's just not going to matter enough. It's just like... You guys basically have a bye, which is crazy as hell for getting the 3rd seed. So stupid. All the Bucks are losing the first game of their series because Jimmy Butler goes off for 35. You guys get to play a literal
had like 32 or something, buddy.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had 32. And who was the second scorer?
Embiid with 26, I think.
No, second scorer on the Nets.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So you guys are playing a play-in equivalent team, or like 11th seed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could see them being 11.
Yeah, so like it's crazy that's how the bracket works.
Honestly, like if you're asking me in a 7-game series, I'd probably pick the Bulls, the Raptors, or the Wizards above the Nets right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
maybe the Raptors are a little bit questionable because I feel like even when Pascal. I don't know. It's just something about Pascal that even when he is the first option on a team, it doesn't feel like he's the first option. Like he doesn't seem like he has the ball in his hands enough. Doesn't look like he's being aggressive enough. Like Mikal Bridges, even though he's not a first option, he seems like a first option on the Knicks. Yeah. And Pascal Siakam doesn't have that, so that's a little bit questionable. But with the other teams, I definitely see that. I think that's basically it. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
Points, right? And that's it.
Yes, let's tally up our points. Okay, so...
Start playing.
You're
both wrong on the...
So, Bulls, Raptors...
With 0 points for both of us. Oh, no, I'm talking about the Heat Hawks in my head.
Yes.
But 0 points Heat Hawks for both of us.
0 points Heat Hawks, yes. So... oh, no, we're doing -1, weren't we?
Oh, we're going to do -1? Yeah, we'll do -1.
So, -1 for the Heat Hawks. We both got that wrong. We picked Heat. Bulls, Raps, we both picked that, so we got +1.
Yeah.
Alright, then we have Hawks, Bulls. I think we both picked Bulls to come out of the series.
We did, so that's -1.
So that's -1 as well. Pels, OKC, you got +1. I got -1. Lakers, Timberwolves, we both got +1 because we had the Lakers. Wolves, Pelicans, I had the Wolves.
You had the Wolves, so you get +1. I had the Thunder.
So we're even off of the play-in right there. We both had 0, basically, coming out of there.
We're even rid of all that. Even at the playoffs.
Okay, then playoffs, we have...
start in the East.
Start in the East, okay.
Just go 1 game first. So we're both -1.
I had the Bucks versus the Bulls 4-0, so that would be
-1 because we didn't call for the other team to win a game.
Okay,
so we both had 4-0 Bucks.
Yeah, so -1 for that. Cavs Knicks, I get +1.
We'll get both
we both get +1.
What did you have? 6? I had 6.
I have 6 for the Cavs Knicks.
Yeah.
Then the Sixers Nets, I had
obviously
+1.
The Sixers winning. So
yeah.
+1. Celtics also +1.
+1. That was also a 5-game series for me. You put 5 games for both those series?
For the Celtics and the Nets?
Celtics, Heat, and Sixers Nets.
I had 6 for Celtics Heat.
Okay, regardless, so +1, and then in the West, +1 for the Nuggets win. +1 still for the Clippers win because I had it being a 6-game series.
Same.
+1 for the Kings as well. I had a 6-game series. Warriors winning.
This is going to be 3 points because there was only one. Actually, they're all +1s besides the Bucks, so we only have 1 sweep each.
Exactly.
So they're all everybody must have gotten us a point.
+1. So that leaves us with +7.
Yeah, we should both be +7.
Both +7, even score. Can't wait for that second round to destroy your bracket, but even keel right now. So
all right,
let's go. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. This is going to be probably a little bit on the shorter side, but next game series, what are we looking at? There you go. Yeah, a little bit on the shorter side. On the shorter side today, but there's going to be some more games by next episode. We'll probably have some of either the series at the end of the series, or we'll have a lot of the series finished up. So we'll have a lot to talk about, looking at previews and stuff like that. And I'll be a little bit less busy this week, so I'll actually be able to watch more of the games. I'm so upset. Like, all the other games, I'm fine with not seeing them, but, like, I wanted to see the Bucks Heat one live, and I missed it. I forget where I was, but I missed that one. I definitely wanted to see that one live. But yeah, I'll be a little bit more tapped in, and there'll be a lot to talk about because we're talking about previews for at the end of the first round. There's probably be a game 7 or 2 that we'll have to talk about. There'll be previews for the next round, and then there might be some more topics about off seasons for teams that got booted out. We could do off seasons, also roll some of the play-in teams off seasons if you want to go into the next round.
We'll
more
see
about
long,
time.
Yeah, so we'll see the time.
But make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
Peace.
Peace.